Hi everyone, I'm Wafa Langao and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. If you are new and not subscribed the channel, press the bell icon, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon in order to have some more videos about grammar. So let's begin the today's topic, modal auxiliary verb we are discussing. We have already discussed in previous lectures 7 of them. Today we are going to start, the eighth one. Before starting the eighth one, let's begin a little bit at the revision of the modal auxiliary verbs definition. What modal auxiliary verbs are? Must, ought to, should, can, could, may, might, will, shall, would, and used to are called the modal auxiliary verbs. This should be in your mind. These all are called the modal auxiliary verbs. One thing, let me tell you, one I've written in yellow, all of them, I've no doubt these 10 are the modal auxiliary verbs. One of them is used to. Some of the grammarians say it is a modal auxiliary verbs, while the others say that it is a structure. So when we will come to the 11th one, there we will discuss whether it is a modal auxiliary verb or a structure. If it is a structure, how you are going to change it into passive voice, and if it is a modal auxiliary verb, how you are going to change it. So their passive you may not find, but we will try to make it in both ways, as we will consider it a modal auxiliary verb or a structure. So let's begin. Today's 8th modal auxiliary verb, that is known as will. Before starting the will, little bit we will discuss about a note that we will learn the detail of modal auxiliary verbs in parts of speech. Modal auxiliary verbs we will learn in parts of speech when we will start verb. In verb I will be teaching you, verb has got some 20 plus kinds. There we will discuss one of them will be called the auxiliary verbs, and auxiliary verbs have got some 4 kinds. There we will be discussing about it in detail. One of them is called the modal auxiliary verbs. And what are the modal auxiliary verbs, which we have already discussed. And another note is there, modal auxiliary verbs are studied in 2 categories. One of them is known as the secondary level, and the second one is known as primary level. What is secondary level? Here we will learn the percentage or the possibility of modal auxiliary verbs. Like we have got must, ought to, should, can, could, may, might, will, shall, would, and used to. When we talk about the possibility of an action, we will be using the modal auxiliary verb in a secondary level. What are primary levels? In primary level we will learn the usages of modal auxiliary verbs. Like we have got one of the modal auxiliary verbs, can. Can is used for physical ability, it is used for mental ability, it is used for authority, it is used for permission, and it is used for possibility. So there are some 5 usages of modal auxiliary verb can. So each modal auxiliary verb has got different usages that we will be discussing in detail when we'll start it in verb, and there that will be called primary level. But in secondary level, see, we have already discussed the above ones. Today we will discuss will. These all 7 I've mentioned, they are used for present possibility, present possibility. And this one is used for future possibility. One is will and one is shall. Will is used for 50% coming actions which are going to happen 50%. Like we say, I will teach you. Over there, if I'm saying that 50% I am agreeing, but 50% authority, surety I cannot give you. Why? Any condition can happen. I may get a work, or you may get a work. What is going to happen, even you cannot guarantee a single second. So this is what we use it for 50%, and that is for future possibility. And here definition, it is used in informal English as modal auxiliary verb. As a modal auxiliary verb, you will be using it in an informal way. I will teach you, like I say, I will teach you, he will teach you, even we will teach you. And as a modal auxiliary verb, still it is used. Shall is nowadays not used as helping verb, but modal auxiliary verb it is used. Yes, when we will come to a shall, you will have some more detail about them. But here this should be in your mind, it is used for future possibility of 50%. I will teach you, this will happen. It will rain today, 50% you add the prediction about the clouds and these all, and this is what you have the prediction. It will rain or not, that is up to Almighty or the God. So let's begin. Main target is how to change it from active voice into passive voice. This should be in your mind. Let's begin. Main topic is modal auxiliary verb will from active voice into passive voice. As we have discussed that in active voice subject does something, in passive voice subject is affected. Now, simple sentences we have. What are simple sentences? Those sentences which make simple statement are called simple sentences. And we have got the rules, we have studied them, that when subject takes the place of this subject, takes the place of object in passive voice, there it will not be called object, there it will be called agent. Agent means it tells us who does an action in a sentence. So most of these students I have seen, they write that object. That is not object, because in object something is done, and when this object takes the place of subject here, there it will be called the title subject or the topic subject which we are talking about. So here this should be in your mind, that is not the doer of an action subject, and this is not the object. When subject takes the place of object, it will be called agent. When object takes the place of subject, it will be called the title or topic subject. You can have my previous lectures, you can see I have taught the parts of sentence, what is difference between doer of an action subject and the title subject. Clear? So formula we have for simple sentences and simple sentences which make simple statement. Formula: subject, modal auxiliary verb will, and then bare infinitive. We have been learning that we will be using bare infinitive after the modal auxiliary verbs. And what are bare infinitives? Verb has got some 20 plus kinds. One of them is called verbal. When a verb doesn't work as a verb in a sentence, it is called verbal. Verbal has got some 3 kinds: gerund, participle, and infinitive. Then infinitives have got 9 kinds. Infinitives have got the 9 kinds. One of them is called bare infinitive. And what are bare infinitive? When first form of the verb, means the action verb, works as a noun in a sentence, it's called that verbal. In verbal it is called infinitive, and then only first form is called the bare infinitive, because it is the name of an action. And bare infinitive is used after some of the causative verbs. There are some verbs after that you will be use it, and like let is there, and in the same way it is used after all modal auxiliary verbs which we have been discussing. And then after that, object and full stop. In passive voice, subject will be plus third form by agent and full stop. I will make sentences. Sentences will be made by me. We will bring changes. Changes will be brought by me. So see, over there we are talking about future possibility, that I will make sentences. Now if I got free, I will make it. If I was not having another work, I will do it. That is what 50% I gave the surety, but 50% I am not sure about, because sometimes we plan and that may not happen. Yes, so in the same way I say we will bring changes. This changes we will bring, we have not brought. Future possibility we are talking about. Changes will be brought by us, and it is the informal way to make the sentences of will. Like with I we use shall, with I and we use shall, but I have used with both of them will. I will make sentences, we will bring changes. This is what informal way to make the sentences from active voice into passive voice, whether you are using it in active voice or passive voice. Negative sentences, those sentences in which we deny the statement, reject the statement, or refuse the statement. Like I say, I will not make sentences. Sentences will not be made by me. We will not bring changes. Changes will not be brought by us. And that is what informal way to talk with someone as compared to shall. Interrogative sentences, those sentences in which we ask question or put queries, are called interrogative sentences. Will I make sentences? Will sentences be made by me? Will we bring changes? Will changes be brought by us? Formal sentences, those sentences in which we ask question, deny the statement, and we ask them in a formal way, polite way, respectful way, or we use it with our elders. Like, will I not make changes? Will sentences not be made by me? Will we not bring changes? Will changes not be brought by us? Informal sentences, those sentences in which we ask question, denying the statement, and we ask them in a informal way. We are using it in a friendly atmosphere, and we are using it with juniors or youngers, like frank atmosphere. I say, won't I make sentences? Won't sentences be made by me? Won't we bring changes? Won't changes be brought by us? So these are the sentences of modal auxiliary verb will from active voice into passive voice. And we have already completed. Hope you got today's lecture. Main thing I always focus on, and that is known as practice. Today we will talk how to change the modal auxiliary verb will from active voice into passive voice with practice. Here you will be able to learn how to practice this modal auxiliary verb will. You will be taking some verbs like I say cook, wash, clean, paint, and do. I will cook food. Food will be cooked by me. Food will not be cooked by me. Will food be cooked by me? Will food not be cooked by me? Won't food be cooked by me? She washes the dishes. She will wash the dishes. Dishes will be washed by her. Dishes will not be washed by her. Will dishes be washed by her? Will dishes not be washed by her? Won't dishes be washed by her? We will clean the room. Room will be cleaned by us. Room will not be cleaned by us. Will room be cleaned by us? Will room not be cleaned by us? Won't room be cleaned by us? He will paint the car. Car will be painted by him. Car will not be painted by him. Will car be painted by him? Will car not be painted by him? Won't car be painted by him? Mother will do the works. Works will be done by mother. Works will not be done by mother. Will works be done by mother? Will works not be done by mother? Mother won't works be done by mother. So this is what you keep practicing them. This is the way to practice them. And if you will practice them in the same way, I can give you surety that you will be able to make some fast sentences in order to make them in your tongue. So wish you best of luck. See you next time with next lecture. Share these all videos with your friends if you can. See you next time. Goodbye.